Hello, class 12th. Good afternoon to one and all. I hope you will be fit and fine and you will be doing your work regularly, which is being assigned to you by your teachers. Today I am here with chapter number 6 of your book Vistas. The chapter we are going to discuss is On the Face of It, which has been written by Suzanne Hill. This is actually a play. This is a play, short play by Suzanne Hill, and it focuses upon the sense of alienation that is experienced by those who suffer an impairment of some kind, means a handicap of some kind. The persons who are suffering from some impairment, some handicap, how do they feel sense of alienation? How do they experience it has been depicted in this chapter by Suzanne Hill. The short play is having 3 scenes, okay, and it's a beautiful story. In the beginning, what is written here? Let's see. This is a play featuring an old man and a small boy meeting in the farmer's garden. The old man strikes up a friendship with the boy, who is very withdrawn and defiant. What is the bond that unites the two? Has been given here in the story. You will come to know when you will be reading the story. Now, what is given here? This play is featuring an old man and a small boy, and they both meet in the garden of the old man. An old man tries to strike a friendship with the boy, who is very much withdrawn and defiant. You might be knowing the meaning of withdrawn. Withdrawn is an introvert kind, the one who is not interested to interact with others, to interact with people. So he was such a boy who was withdrawn, and he was also defiant, means he was rebellious in his nature, kind of adamant he was. The old man who lives in that garden is having a house in the middle of the garden, and he is the only person who lives in that house. His name is Mr. Lamb. Okay, so how does the story go? Let's see scene 1. The setting has been given, scene 1. Where does it start? You will see there are dialogues only in this story, and they have been written very beautifully by Suzanne Hill. Mr. Lamb's garden. The setting is Mr. Lamb's garden, and there is occasional sound of bird song, of trees, and of trees, tree leaves rustling. In the garden, one can listen to the songs of the birds and the rustling of the tree leaves. Rustling is soft, crackling sound similar to the movement of dry leaves. And Daddy's footsteps are heard as he walks slowly and tentatively through the long grass. Inside the garden, Daddy's foots can be heard. He is walking slowly, and tentatively means uncertainly. He has not a particular destination to reach. Actually, he had climbed the wall of the garden and had entered the garden through the wall, thinking that there won't be anyone inside, because he didn't want to see people, he didn't want to meet people, he just wants to stay all alone. That is why he comes inside the garden through the wall. Otherwise, there is a gate also, a gate to the garden, and the doors of the gate are always open. But he comes there through the wall so that nobody could see him. So he is going uh, uncertainly through the long grass. Then he pauses. He walks on again, then walks on again. He comes round a screen of bushes. There are so many bushes growing there, and he finds a kind of wall, a screen of bushes only, so that when Mr. Lamb speaks to him, he is close at hand and Derry is startled. Mr. Lamb was behind the screen of bushes. He could not see him, and when Mr. Lamb, who was very much near him, speaks to him, Derry gets surprised, startled, shocked, because he had thought nobody will be inside, nobody will be there inside, but there was this old man. And how their conversation goes, let's see. It is given here in the form of the dialogues. Mr. Lamb, dialogue of Mr. Lamb, he says, mind the apples, means take care of apples. Be aware about the apples. Derry, what? Who is that? Who is there? Mr. Lamb says, Lamb is my name, mind the apples, crab apples, those are. Wind falls in the long grass, you could trip. So he says, please be careful about the apples, don't crush them, don't put your foot on the apples. These are crab apple, these are wild apples, and they have fallen on the ground due to the wind, blowing of wind. You could trip. Be careful, otherwise you may stumble, you may misstep. Derry, I thought this was an empty place. I did not know there was anybody here. I thought that nobody will be there inside the garden. That is why I entered. I didn't know that there is someone. Means you are two there. I had no idea that you are two there. Otherwise I won't have come inside. Mr. Lamb says, that is all right. I'm here. What are you afraid of, boy? That is all right. Okay, no problem. I'm here. That is no problem. It's all okay. It's all right. You should not be afraid of me. What are you afraid of? Derry says, I thought it was empty, an empty house. Mr. Lamb, so it is, because there was a house of Mr. Lamb in the garden, and Derry thought that it would be empty house. Mr. Lamb says, so it is, yes, the house is empty since I am out here in the garden, because right now it is empty, because I am here in the garden. It is empty until I go back inside. In the meantime, I am out here and likely to stop. A day like this, beautiful day, not a day to be indoors. So because the child is afraid, boy is afraid, so Mr. Lamb, an old man, he tries to change the topic. And he says, who would like to sit inside the doors, inside home, when there is so beautiful day outside? It's a beautiful day. I'm out here and I would like to stop here for some time. It's not a day to stay indoors. Derry panic. I have got to go. Now Derry was more afraid. He was panicky. He says, I would like to leave now. I would like to go from here. Mr. Lamb says, not on my account. I don't mind who comes into the garden. The gate is always open. Only you climb the garden wall. If you want to go, okay, you may go, but not because of me, not on my account. I don't mind anyone, whosoever comes in my garden. The gate is always open. It was only you who climbed the garden wall and entered the garden through the wall. Otherwise, the gate is always open. You could have come through the gate also. Now, Derry angry. You were watching me. Mr. Lamb, I saw you. I had seen you climbing the wall. But the gate is open. All welcome. You are welcome. I sit here. I like sitting. Derry, I would not come to steal. I had not come to steal anything. I hadn't come to steal anything here in the garden. And Mr. Lamb, no. The young lads steal, scrum the apples. You are not so young. I'm not saying that you have come to steal hear anything. This is done by young lads, young boys, younger than you. They scrump the apples, they steal the apples. You are not so young, you are grown up. Dairy. I just wanted to come into the garden. So you did. Here we are then. Daddy says, I just wanted to come inside the garden only. I have not come to steal anything. Mr. Lamb says, yes, you have already entered the garden and here we are both before each other. Daddy, you don't know who I am, Mr. Lamb. A boy 13 or so. I know that you are a boy whose age is 13 or so. Daddy, 14. He says, I am 14 years old. Then pause. Doesn't speak anything. After some time, but I have got to go now. Now I would like to leave. Goodbye, Mr. Lamb. Nothing to be afraid of. Don't panic, dear boy. And just a garden. It's a garden. Just me. Means it's merely a garden and I am only here. No one is there except both of us. Daddy. But I am not. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid actually. Pause. People are afraid of me. I'm not afraid of people, but people are afraid of me. Mr. Lamb, why should that be? How it can happen? Why are people afraid of you? Daddy, everyone is afraid of me. It does not matter who they are or what they say or how they look, how they pretend, I know, I can see. It doesn't matter who these people are, who don't like me, what they say, it doesn't matter. How do they look? How they pretend, to make a false show. I know, I can see, I can see people, they feel like it. They are afraid of me whenever they look at me, but they merely pretend that they are not afraid of me. Mr. Lamb, see what? See what? What do they see? What do the other people see in you? Daddy, what they think? What they think about me? Due to that thinking they get afraid of. Mr. Lamb, what do they think then? Daddy then tells, what do the people think? He says, you think as now you have seen me, you might be thinking about me. Here is a boy, you look at me and then you see my face and you think, then you start looking. When you saw my face, you would start thinking, that is bad, my face is bad, that is a terrible thing, that is the ugliest thing I have ever saw. You think, poor boy. You would think, you would find me a poor boy. But I am not a poor boy, not poor. Underneath you are afraid, and in your heart you will be afraid of me. Anybody may be afraid of my face. I myself am afraid of my face. When I look in the mirror and see it, I am afraid of me. Now, what does Mr. Lamb say? Mr. Lamb says, no, not the whole of you, not of you. Means not whole of your face is spoiled, and I'm not worried, I'm not afraid of you. Daddy, yes. Then again pause. Mr. Lamb, later on, when it is a bit cooler, Mr. Lamb again tries to change the topic. He just wants to divert the attention of the boy towards other things in the garden. So he says, later on when it is a bit cooler, I will get the ladder and stick and pull down those crab apples. They are ripe for it. I make jelly. It is good time of the year, September. Look at them, orange and golden. That is magic fruit, I often say. But it is best picked and made into jelly. You could give me a hand. So he says that when there will be a bit cooler, means there will be cold in the atmosphere. What will I do? I will get a ladder and a stick, and then I would like to pull down those crab apples because they are now ripe for making jelly. I make jelly, and it is the best time of the year, that is September. Look at these, them means apples. Look at those apples, the orange apples and golden apples, and apple is a magic fruit, I oftenly say. But it is best picked and made into jelly, but it may be used, its best uses to pick in time and means pull down in time and make into jelly. You could give me a hand. You can help me doing this. Daddy, what have you changed the subject for? He interferes. Why are you changing the topic? People always do that. Why don't you ask me? Why don't you ask me about my face? Why do you do what they all do and pretend it is not true and isn't there? Why do you do? Why are you doing the same as the other people do? Why are you pretending? Isn't true? You are not pretending. In case I see you looking and mind and get upset. Suppose if I were in your place and I would have been looking at your face, then I would have got upset. And I will tell you, then I would have told you that I am feeling upset to look at you. You don't ask me because you are afraid to. You are afraid of my face, that is why you are not asking anything. Mr. Lamb says, you want me to ask? Say so then. Okay, if you want me to ask about your face, then start telling what happened to your face. Daddy, I don't like being with people, any people. I don't like the company of any of the people. I don't go with the people. I don't like to see them, like to talk to them. Any people, Mr. Lamb. I should say, to look at it, I should say, you got burned in a fire. I would like to say, when I look at your face, I could say that perhaps you would have got your face burned in a fire. Daddy. Not in a fire. I got acid all down that side of my face. Actually, it got burned due to the acid. And it burned it away, all away. And due to acid, my face got burnt. It ate my face up. It ate me up. And now it is like this, and it won't ever be any different. So now my face looks like this, and it won't change. You can see here the picture, dear students, inside the garden on the tree, on a bench, kind of bench. Mr. Lamb is sitting and he is talking to a boy whose left side is shown as if it is burnt. Okay, and he is talking about that burnt side of his face, that people, they are afraid of his face whenever they look at it, and he is he is asking the old man, why is he not talking about his face, because he is probably afraid of it. Then he starts narrating his story that his face got burned due to acid. Then what happened next? Mr. Lamb, no, I'm not afraid of it. Daddy, aren't you interested? Are you not interested to listen to my tale, my story of my face? Mr. Lamb, you are a boy who came into the garden. Plenty do. I am interested in anybody, anything. There is nothing God made that doesn't interest me. Look over there, over beside the far wall. What can you see? Again, he is trying to change his mind. You are a boy who has come into my garden. Plenty do means many boys come inside the garden, and I am interested in everyone. Anything I am interested. There is nothing which has been made by God I didn't like. Look over there. There over beside the far wall. Look there in one corner of the garden. What can you see? Immediately Daddy says, rubbish. I can see rubbish. Rubbish? Mr. Lamb says, look boy, look. What do you see? See again. What do you see? What do you find there? Daddy says, just grass and stuff. Weeds. What is there? There is grass, there is weeds, these sort of things are there. Weeds are there. Mr. Lamb says, some call them weeds. If you like, then a weed garden, that. Some people call them weeds. If you like, then you can also call this is a weed garden. There are fruit and there are flowers. There are fruits and flowers also in the garden. And trees and herbs, they are also there. All sorts, everything is there. But over there, weeds. But in that corner of the garden, there are weeds. I grow weeds there. Why is one green growing plant called a weed and another flower? Where is the difference? It is all life, growing, same as you and me. she was trying to answer his questions, his doubts. He says, this is the question raised by old man, Mr. Lamb. Why is one green growing plant called a weed? One green growing plant is called weed and another is called flower. What is the difference? It is all life, he says. And life is about growing. It does not matter. Same as you and me. Means it is only about the life. Everything is same. Everything is different. How? Whether it is a fat, it is a thin, it is a fair or it is dark complexioned person. But all are growing. But they are categorized in different categories. One is called long, other is called short. But all are growing. One is called fat, other is thin. But it is all about growing. So things are same, things are different too. Daddy, we are not the same. Now Daddy says we both are not same. Mr. Lamb, I am old, you are young. Yeah, that is the difference. You have got a burnt face, I have got a tin leg. He says, you are handicapped. Means he didn't so, but he just want to say that you have got, your handicap is burnt face and mine is tin leg. Not important. You are standing there, I am sitting here. You can stand, I can sit, because I am not having one leg. Where is the difference? Now Daddy asked him, why have you got a tin leg? Mr. Lamb replies, real one got blown off years back. Blown off means to get forcibly disconnected by use of firearm or bomb. Mean he had his leg had got disconnected due to some explosion of bomb. Real one got blown off years back. Lamey lamb, some kids say. Some kids call me lamey lamb. It fits, does not trouble me, and it fits me because I am lame. Daddy. But you can put on trousers and cover it up. And no one sees. They don't have to notice and stare. And Daddy is having his own excuse to present. He says, his thoughts are different. You can put on trousers and you can cover this handicap of yours, and when it will be covered under trouser, no one will be looking at it. No one will be noticing it, and then nobody will be staring at your leg. No, Mr. Lamb says some do, some stare, some notice, some don't notice. They get tired of it. Actually, when the things are seen time and again, people become habitual of it. As in the chapter Should Wizard Hit Mommy, father had told that at the later stage, other animals they got habitual to the bad smell of the skunk and they started playing with him. So he says here that people, nobody is having this much of time to pay attention to our handicaps only. They don't have to notice and stare. They get tired of it in the end. There is plenty of other things to stare at because people are not having time to look only at my blown off leg. There are many things around to stare at. Like my face, Daddy says, as my face is, it is to be stared by all. Mr. Lamb says, like crab apples or the weeds or spider climbing up a silken ladder or my tall sunflowers. These are many other things. People stare at them. They look at them. Crab apples are there, weeds are there. Spider climbing up on a silken ladder, they can see them. You can see them, enjoy it. There are my tall sunflowers. Daddy says things, they are things. Mr. Lamb says it is all relative. Beauty and beast doesn't matter. Things are related to each other, one another. What is that supposed to mean? Daddy asks, what do you mean by that? Mr. Lamb, you tell me. Now Daddy says, you don't think they haven't all told me that fairy story before? This story related to beauty and beast. Do you think I have not listened to this story and this has not been narrated to me by my elders earlier? It is not what you look like. They have told me. Means the crux, means the conclusion of the story has been told by the people. My elders to me, like, it is not what you look like, it is what you are inside. Handsome is as handsome does. These things I have already been told by them. Beauty loved the monstrous beast for himself, and when she kissed him, he changed into a handsome prince. This was in the story that Beauty loved a monstrous beast, and she kissed him, and he changed into a handsome prince. Only he would have stayed a monstrous beast. I won't change. He talks about himself that I won't ever change. I will always stay a monstrous beast. I won't change. Mr. Lamb says, in that way, yeah, the way you think, in that way it may happen. No, you won't. Exactly, physically you won't change, Daddy. And no one kiss me. No one will kiss me ever. Only my mother, and she kisses me on the other side of my face. And I don't like my mother to kiss me. She does it because she has to. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. So he says that no one will kiss me ever. Only my mother, and she too kisses me on the other side of my face, not on the burnt side of my face. She has to do it because she is my mother, she loves me. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. Mr. Lamb says, oh, what do you care? Do you care if you never kiss them? They kiss you, or you won't be able to kiss them. What do you care about? Daddy says, what? Yeah, I'm talking about girls. You would like to kiss them or not? Long hair. No one ever kissed me. Here it is. Girls, pretty girls, long hair and large eyes. People you love, you would like to kiss them. Who would let me? Daddy says, who would let me love or kiss? Not one. Mr. Lamb, who can tell? It can't be told, dear boy. Daddy says, I won't ever look different. I won't change. When I'm as old as you, I will look the same. I will still only have half a face. I will not change. I will remain the same if I will be an old man, same as you. Mr. Lamb says, so you will. Yeah, you will be grown up and you won't change, but the world won't. Okay, it means you will have half the face, but world is not having half face. The world has got a whole face, and the world is there to be looked at. There are so many things in the world which are able to be looked at, right? Daddy says, do you think this is the world, the old garden? Do you find the world in this garden only? Mr. Lamb, when I am here, not the only one, but the world as much as anywhere. When I am here, it is the garden. This is the world only, not only the one, but the world. I'm not particular only about my garden. I am talking about the world as much as anywhere. Anywhere, the things which I see, I observe, they are beautiful. They are worth to be looked at. Mr. Lamb, no, Daddy says, does your leg hurt you? Mr. Lamb says, tin does not hurt, boy. When it came off, did it? When it was separated from your leg, means when your leg was disconnected, did it hurt you? Certainly it had hurt at that time. And now, I mean, when the tin stops at the top, where the tin stops, at that particular point where the tin has started, does it hurt you there? Now and then, in wet weather, it does not signify, it is not important. Oh, that is something else, they all say. There is some other thing also, they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. My elders, they teach me saying that just pay attention to other people who are in pain. Actually, you are not in pain. Other people who are in pain and still they are brave and they never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. Means I am given examples of other people who are also handicapped and whose condition is worse than me, and I am advised to pay attention to them. Your handicap is not as worse as them. Mr. Lamb says, I have not said it. I didn't say so. Daddy, and think of all those, he adds, And think of all those people worse off than you. There are so many people who are worse than you. Think you might have been blinded. It may happen you could have got blind, or born deaf. You could have born deaf, or have to live in a wheelchair, or be daft in your head. Daft means insane or mad. You would have born mad, or you would have been dribbling. Dribble means saliva drip from mouth. Okay, you may dribble. So you are better than other people. This was the advice of his elders. He tells land. Okay, dear students, I would like to stop here for today. We have discussed till page number 60, and the rest of the part of the story we will be discussing in the next video. Till then, you read this part, read the text and understand it. If you face any problem, please make a call, let me know. And you can also go through the text of the other parts of this lesson. Then it will be easy for you to understand at the later time. Okay, till then, please stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep doing your work. Thank you very much.